Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shuck. Let me just take a wee drink here. I've been talking to myself. I've been sitting arguing about how many knives I should put out, and as usual, the quantity wins. I just like talking about knives. I'm sorry. And I know there's people out there who maybe don't like the long form videos. Let me just get that up there because I want you to see this. Please like, subscribe, comment. I really need you to do that. It really helps the channel. And I really appreciate every single person that even gives me a thumbs up. If that's all you give me, thank you so much. But please subscribe. There's more of this nonsense on nearly a daily basis. I just like talking about knives. But one of my subscribers, after seeing, I don't know whether it was a video I had this knife in or it was Instagram, and he was asking me a bit about this knife, and he said, would I do a review on it? And I said, yes, I'll do a review on that knife and some of my other favourite, sort of white bone or plastic or whatever they're made of, knives. And I sat down this morning, I thought, well, will I pick 5, 6 and do that? And I probably should have, but I'll do this one. I'll leave it to the end. I'll talk about this in the end because it is a beautiful example of a knife. This is a George Wostenholm knife, and it is stunning. It was a gift from Frank at Fraymore Knives. It was 2 Christmases ago, but I love it and carry it and use it. And I use a lot of these older ones that maybe some people wouldn't want to use. I do because I just like them. The feeling of having them in my pocket, even if they don't do any work, just carrying them in my pocket for cutting a bit of string, that's all. A lot of them are just light use knives. But I thought I'd just get them all out. So this is all the white tone. I used to have a lot more of these type, the older type white bone ones, but over the years I've let them go, and I've sort of got to the stage now where I don't genuinely go out searching for them too much. But when I see one that I really like these secretary knives, I just can't stop myself. Or if we get a nice mother of pearl knife now, but especially old British makers, I like to have as many different kinds as I can. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go through most of these really quickly. I'm going to talk about this. I always say that my dad wasn't a knife man, and when he passed away, I found an old silver little pen knife, one of those engine turned ones. One blade was missing off it. It's still up there, but I didn't bring it out today because this is white. So he had this faux mother of pearl knife in his desk when he passed away, and that's my father's knife. I mean, it's got a bottle opener on one side and a wee screwdriver, and then it has a lovely little sheep's foot on the other side. So that's what he had in his desk, and that's what he would use to cut things, open a box or something. He would have used this. So he wasn't a knife person. Hence I went out and bought this knife when I got a little bit of my inheritance for him. This is the Slippy, the Hinderer Slippy, one of my favourite knives, full stop. And not just because I got this in honour of my father, but it was getting a bit embarrassing saying this was my father's knife. So this is it now. So there's one out of the way. Let's start up here. This is the newest one. This is a brother knife they just sent me about a month ago, maybe even longer. This is in white bone, but it's screwed construction. It's in VG10, and Brothers VG10 is usually really good. This is a 3-inch exactly cutting edge, so it is UK legal. Lovely slip joint. A bit harsh at the back here for when I have a large hand, so this is just digging in. Well, you can see the wee mark. When I close my hand like that, it is a bit of a diggy there, but it's really easy rectified. I can just round that off on one of my little sanding stones or sanding tool. I'll maybe do a review doing that, just sanding that off so that it's comfortable in the hand. But in all honesty, I think I'll probably just leave it, and this will go in a GW. We give away very, very shortly, I would say. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to tell you when it'll be, but it'll be. So this is a really, really nice little slip joint. Good sturdy blade stock, well put together. Not keen on this, and the shield has a screw right through the centre, which yes, it'll keep it on, but doesn't particularly look nice. So this is probably not one of the nicest brothers I have, but it is very functional. So we'll take that out of the way, and here's one I've had for years. This is a little baby canoe, little tiny, and this is a Rough Rider. This is a fantastic little secondary knife. And going back a few years, I used to carry it regular and used it. Super little knife from Rough Rider, white bone, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning little knife, and a great fifth pocket knife. I know it's small, like, you know what I mean? It's the size of my little finger. It is small, but if you just want to quickly open a wee box or open something, these are just super little knives. Instead of pulling out a big knife this size, you can have that in your pocket and pull it out. It scares nobody. What should we clear off next? I want to clear off maybe some of the more modern ones. This isn't modern, but I'm going to get rid of this. This on the blade, this is a very old, can you say a copy? But it's imitating the Swiss Army knife. But this is more like a cross than like a church cross than it is a cross that you get in a Swiss Army knife, and this scalloped red flag type thing around the outside of it. This is incredibly well made. Incredibly well made. It has all the things you want. Little script. This is a super little tool. Why it isn't in a lot more. Instead of the parcel hook, I don't know why Swiss Army don't put something like that in. You know what it's like when you're putting in a small screw and you want to bore a wee hole, because it's very hard to get them stable, putting them in. That is an absolutely a little drill bit. I adore that. Swiss Army knife. If they took away that parcel hook and put that in there, that would be an amazing upgrade. What a super tool. Just to get a tool start, to get a screw started. Super thing. And then you have a punch there as well that sits lovely folded along the side. And this, on the blade, it says on this, it's got variable ENG, which I take it as England. Variable England. I don't know anything about it other than that. And maybe if you do, you can. I mean, again, I'm not really a Swiss Army knife person, but when this came up, I thought, I've got to have this. And it's old. We're going back to the old. It's great spring on it. Look at that, the can opener. Listen to that snap. So I just, when I bought it, I was over the moon, and this beautifully tied lanyard. I love it on it. So that's one that I'll definitely keep in my collection, because it's a bit different. And talking of different and Swiss Army, here is a beautiful, I think this is Joseph Rogers. Let me just check on this. I haven't looked at that for a while. Yeah, it is. There you go. Joseph Rogers. What a beautiful blade on that. Look at that blade. Beautiful deep hollow grind in it. And it's not particularly thick, so you can imagine it is like a little razor. And it's got your bottle opener and your cap lifter. Yeah, tin opener, cap lifter, and it has a wee saw at the back. That's the only tools it has on it. Where's my wee saw? How do you get it out? Oh, it's got a nail nick. There you go. It's got a wee saw on it. I don't know how good it is. I've never used it. Just the fact that it was an English maker, Joseph Rogers, I thought, I'm going to have that. And, it's like new. It has never been used, I don't think, at all. Pretty well put together. Not as good as a Swiss made, but a great snap on it. The back springs are really good and useful, but it's the blade that really tickled me, and I love having that in my collection. Here's another one. This is, well, it's not young. This is from 1977, which was the Queen's, or past Queen's Silver Jubilee. And it just happened to be the year I joined the Royal Navy. I was on a beach in Southsea, just beside Portsmouth, and watched the flotilla all float past. And it was the most exciting thing I'd ever seen. I'd just joined the Navy. I was sitting in my uniform on the beach, and it was just amazing. So I got that, and I got this in Etsy a few years ago, and I just thought, no, got to have it. It's by Richards. Just a little simple pen knife, cheap. Although they charged a bloody fortune for it, but there we go. That's what you get. And a more, maybe not, again, not modern, but it's fairly young. This is a Fighting Rooster. And this has some of the most beautiful mother of pearl. The movement on this is just amazing. And really here doesn't show up the colour. Unless I can get it over to the window. It's got greens and reds. It's got everything in it. It is a beautiful piece. Very odd looking shape of a pen blade. Well, an upswept. Although I don't even think it's upswept. I think it's made to look upswept, but just an odd shape with a dog leg sort of pattern there. But I love the frosting on these fighting roosters. It really does make them stand out. Just a beautiful snap on it, single blade, but a beautiful example of a mother of pearl. I love it. Love that knife as well. And we'll go to the mother of pearl. You've seen this recently, so I'm not going to talk about this. This is just a little pen knife, tiny, tiny little pen knife. And again, this is a British maker. This is George Wostenholm, and another perfect example of mother of pearl. There's not as much, well, there is actually. It's just, I don't know, in here, it's just full of colour. It really is all the colour when you can get it in the right, with that window. I can see it, the beautiful, just the colours of the rainbow, but a lovely little knife. Again, another one which I absolutely love. This is a Schrade, and this is just a Barlow with a lovely clip point, and this was their Scrimshaw series. Really fortunate to get this one. I love it, and it was in mint condition, not used. You know, I didn't get boxes or anything, but the knife itself is just beautiful. Cam tang, really well centered, both blades. Beautiful little knife. One of my Barlow collections with a free cartouche there. I keep meaning to put PPP in it, but I just can't spoil it. It's too nice. I love it. So let's get some of these together now, and some of the ones that like here's one, and I'll tell you, it's white, it's gone off right, it's really gone creamy and whatever. This is mother of pearl, genuine mother of pearl, but this is a fairly old knife. This is a silver fruit knife, and I could find the date out just by looking at that, but it doesn't really bother me because I just liked it that it's a silver knife, and it's something to have with that. The cartouche is a GSM, whatever that name was, put in it. And I sometimes sit and I look at knives like this, and I think rather than what the age of it is when you get something like that, you wonder who he was. Was he well off? I would have thought so. This is a beautiful little knife, little fruit knife. It's got, look at the back, the file work on the back there. How delicate is that? So I would have said this really came from nobility of some sort, going back in, a few years, let's say. I'm not sure how many. But it is a lovely little knife to have in the collection. Let's move these up. I have a thing with bolsters. Well, my Barlows, I love things on the bolster and Barlows. A lot of people don't. I do. And this is like a few of my really favourite. I think these two are ivory. I think they're ivory. I think this one is ivory. And there's another one that... No. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and this one 4. I think are ivory. Some of them are just bone. Some of them are plastic. But again, it's not something that really. The ivory, if it was ivory, yeah, I'd be okay with it because it would have been made in a time when that was okay. So life moves on, modern times. But these ones I just adore. Now, I got this one myself, and I got this one myself. This is a little corn knife that the podiatrist who came round your house maybe or in the surgery would have cut the corn off with this little small blade. This is flat. It's not sharp at the side there, so they could sort of creep up on it, and do like this, keeping this out of the way to get in and get a corn out. But just a lovely knife. A bit of history. But this is only in cheap plastic. This is an expensive knife. But again, this was a British maker. And this was A. Whiting in Manchester. So again, I love having it from all different places around the UK. Love that. But I got this one, and I was so over the moon when I managed to get this. I can't even remember where I bought it. I believe it might have been on Etsy or something like that. Again, this one is a George Wostenholm. And it's just a little pen knife, two-bladed pen knife. Beautiful little knife. This was a secretary's blade. We now call it a spay blade. But this little flat bit here was for taking the ink off a page. If you made a mistake, you just would have, this is your pen blade, and you just would have rubbed this across the parchment or the page and got that off to retype it again and not show the mistake. So that's what it was. That's why it was called the secretary's knife. So yes, this is one of my favourite knives in the collection, full stop. But then my friend Joe over at Messer HQ blew my head away, and he sent me another 3 of these. One of them's not a white bone, it's a yellowy mustard coloured bone, but this is one of the ones he sent me, and this is made by Camillus. And again, I believe it has the razor blade. There you go. There's the little flat part at the end there for taking it away. They were all common to have these on them. But aren't they beautiful? And look at that calligraphy. I just love this. Absolutely adore it. So well made. Beautiful. This one's the springs up there, that's all. But, I mean, the snap on them, beautiful little blade, really well made. And you could see somebody in an office having this quite happily. And then he also sent me this one. This is a beauty. This is a George Wostenholm as well. So these are, there you go. Look at them blades. Look at them beautiful blades. And again, the wee razor pen. And I don't know whether it's because they were a bit smaller, just to take a bit of a typo off. Do you know what I mean? But it is basically a spy blade. But I just listen to the snap in it. Absolutely. And I'm forever thankful to Joe for these. These are just stunning knives. Absolutely stunning. I'll put them up there. And then we'll go to these next 3. This is a more modern one. Well, it's an older modern one. This is an old-timer. And this is the Texas Longhorn. And you have the Texas Longhorn there and the shield. Love that shield. It's a little small stockman, but a really useful little small stockman. There's your spay. You can't tell the difference between that and the secretary's blade, can you? The spay and the clip. This is the 34 LH for Longhorn. But beautiful knife. And then you have that lovely sheep's foot on it. So yes, it's small. It's a 5th pocket or a secondary carry. Beautiful little knife from Old Timer. And now we're getting down to some of my real favourites here. These 2 are very basic knives. They're just simple little pen knives. This one is by James Barber. And I can't tell you how many people have wanted to buy this knife off me, because they are becoming like hen's teeth, dating the James Barber knives. And a lot of fathers and grandfathers who had these when younger are trying to get them again. And honestly, since I got this one, I used to see them all the time. And since I got this in a wee shop in Bangor, the town I live in, it was a real old second-hand shop. The man was nearing retirement, was basically rubbish in it. But I found this on his table. I found these 2 on his table, actually. This is a beautiful James Barber in really good condition. Now, I had to fix this. There's a big chip out here. You can see where this curves around. So I've done that myself, took it back, and it's sharpened right from there all the way up. It's like a razor because I carry and use this knife. Again, look at that. Beautiful. This of the 2 is the better. It's lasted its time better. Let's put it like that. It's a gorgeous little knife. And no, not that one. We're going over this one now. The thing with this one is, right, there's nothing much wrong with it. You can actually squeeze that and it comes in. The pin on this side, is the plastic has come over the top off it a bit. I could put this in a vise and squeeze it in and re-tamper it. But do you want to know, it still works. I might have this. This is where, you know, that gap doesn't bother me, because the knife still, I'll show you the knife that comes out from this side. Look, it's an absolutely super knife. And when you put it together, yes, there's a bit of a gap, but when I'm holding it, there is no wiggle whatsoever, up or down. It is beautiful. Now, this is well used, and I have used this extensively. I love carrying it as a secondary. And listen to this, absolutely fine. Beautiful knife. And again, this one is Taylor's Eyewitness. And there's a theme here. I love to get different brands from around the UK. This is a lovely Taylor's Eyewitness where they put the, there you are, you can see that. And I'm sure that's a fair age now. And I love it when people in the thing chime in and tell me what sort of era that came from. It's fine. I buy them for aesthetic looks, that I really just like the look of them. And then here's 2 little beauties. Here is a little, this is I think this was used for shellfish. You know, for picking willocks out or lifting your crab meat up or mussels. You have a wee knife there if you need to cut you know, an oyster shuck, you need to cut the membrane off so you can free the oyster. I just think it is super, very thick, and I believe you could use that to shuck open an oyster. Not sure, but it is. I think that's what it is, and I haven't had anybody tell me any different. So it's somebody has been using the wee oyster shuck well, because it's over too far. Let me just see this. There we go, and that goes in the back of it. But this comes in a lovely little pouch, like a lady's purse, and this was in there. So you brought this out at the dining table. Isn't that lovely? I just think that sort of thing, you know, there's dying things that, you know, you're never going to see again. I mean, this little one here, I even got this. I'll just go back again. I got this one. People have seen this before, but it's a George Wostenholm, and I actually got the original box that it came in. So just a beautiful little knife, and I keep it in there because it's just special. Last two. This one is going creamy now. This is bone, without a shadow of a doubt. But they started off white. Beautiful fitted little shield in there. And again, this is just a little pen knife. Beautiful little knife. Got markings and all, but I would say this is a fair age. And this one is a Needham Brothers, another English company. Just super. Lovely snap still in it. I love these tiny bolster and end cap. Aren't they just lovely? And that sleeve board pattern. Just a stunning little knife in bone that's just discolored with age. And I would say, you know, this has got to be turn of the century, if not before it. A couple of these are, you know, old knives, but I think this one is particularly old. I love this. And the knife that he asked me to show him, finally, is this knife. This is a George Wostenholm. This is a jackknife, and it's a jackknife rather than a penknife because both blades come from the same side. Oh, let me just get this out without cutting the hand on myself. There you go. Lovely jackknife. I love that blade. Is that not just a beautiful blade? That reminds me of a GEC blade now. It really does. You got this really long bolster, comes right up to the hilt here. Long pull, I should say. More maybe even in the French style. It's not a nail nick, but I just think it looks very like a GEC blade, but maybe a wee bit, you know, slimmer. But beautiful, beautiful blade. Love the swedge, and it's on both sides. This is a bit of class, and I believe if I bring this up nice and close for you, you can see the striations in the bone. I do believe this could be ivory, but it is stunning. Beautiful. I got this from Frank at Framework Knives, as I say, for a Christmas present. I think it was 2 years ago, and boy, this has had some use and carry. I just think it's a super nice. I couldn't leave it sitting in a drawer because, I mean, I've got it razor sharp. It is absolutely razor sharp, and well used. You can see it is well used. And people will say, well, you should put that in the collection. I'll be honest with you, I don't have anybody to hand my collection on to. So I'll probably get sold for well under value whenever I pop my clogs. So I'm happy with using them. Do you know what I mean? There's some that I don't use much, but there is some like this because it was a gift. It's in great condition. I use it. I don't abuse it. It's for cutting a bit of string, open a bit of film over my dinner, my TV dinner. I'll use this rather than pulling out a bigger knife, but I just adore it. So there we go. We'll finish on that. I'm sorry I went on. The fit and finish in this is beautiful, by the way. Absolutely stunning. This is a classy, classy knife in that serpentine shape. Just elegance personified. Elegance personified. So he asked me for this, and he got that. So beware when you ask Paddy to do a wee review of a knife that you've seen in it there. But I mean, this is, honestly, it's stunning. And why wouldn't I want to use that? It's just lovely. It's my type of knife. And as if to just do anything, I'm just going to finish on this now. Sorry, I've gone on 25 minutes again. Bloody hell, I'm going to get shot. My today's carry couldn't be any different than white. This is the one that my friend Scott gave me. And this is my new GEC, which is now my permanent user knife, and I'm carrying this every day for a month, which is something I don't do with my knives. I usually change every day. This has had plenty of use. All the markings that really came off one, I ate a chili kebab and used this to cut it all up. And this is the knife that Scott gave me. I adore this. Again, it's in this same category as this. This is a pen knife, but I've showed you lots of little pen knives. And again, this is just a different maker. This is a Vulcan, which is a, I can't read the blooming name. Tellings Sheffield. Again, another Sheffield maker. And tell me that bone jigging is not just beautiful. Yes, this is bone dyed and jigged. Gorgeous. Another knife that will get plenty of carry, much like this one. And there's a couple of others over there that I've shown you that I'll use. And that's what they're there for. They're so well made. You're not going to break them, as long as you're not going to do anything stupid. But they're a great knife to pull out that doesn't scare the knife feardies. And there's no point annoying the feardies, because they'll get us completely banned eventually if we keep, mucking up. So there you go. Thank you for asking the question. Sorry I went into one of my little rambles. But sometimes, I never show most of these knives, or you'll see one every now and then. So it was nice just to get them out. If there's any knife that you've seen in there and you would like a quick review on it, please ask me now, because you'll not get all the rest. You'll just get that knife. I hope you enjoyed seeing the review of that one. Although it was quick, it's just a quick review. It's a simple, really good, really useful, really well put together pocket knife. And I love carrying a small, older knife in my collection when I'm carrying two blades. So there you go. Take care. Paddy's away. Thank you very much. Go, I could do that waffle. Bye bye now.